Well, good morning, church, and I hope you had a chance to enjoy our devotional from yesterday. The Lawrence kids did an awesome job, and just up front, I recognize I'm not going to be able to compete with that. But I love that they showed us an easy way to make our own communion bread for those of you who don't have crackers or something that could work at home. So hopefully you're able to enjoy that time, whether it's with your kids or adults. You can just make it for you and your spouse as well, or just for you. So I hope you guys are able to take advantage of that. But the other thing I really loved about how they explained things, and they really talked about what the bread and the cup represent for us. As believers, that's really the whole point of why we take communion. It's not just this time where we get some kind of snack. It's an important reflection on what those things represent. And Jesus is the first person who did that communion in the Last Supper. And so as believers, I hope we are taking the time to reflect on what it means for our lives. The fact that Jesus went to the cross and gave his own life in our place, that even though he's the one who did not sin and we did, he's the one who paid the penalty that at the end of the day we could have never possibly even paid. And recognizing that not only did he do that, but what are we doing about it now? It's easy for us to go, oh yeah, Jesus paid for my debt. That's awesome. But then a lot of the time we kind of ignore that by how we live out our lives. If we really recognize Jesus did that for us, we owe him everything. And so I hope that this weekend you're able to take time with your family or just on your own to spend some time in prayer. If prayer is not something you feel super comfortable with, I'd recommend turning to Matthew chapter 6. And what we often call the Lord's Prayer is actually Jesus explaining to his disciples how to pray. And so there's a lot of important things that are in that prayer, whether it comes to thanking God, recognizing who he is. There's a whole sermon in there in itself. But I hope you guys are able to spend time in prayer and really ask God something that I know we've talked about in other devotionals, that the fact of, God, what things do you care about? What things do I need to be caring about more? And what things am I letting get in between me and you? And so I hope you're able to take that time, whether it's on your own or as a family, because it's important for us, and it's really, quite honestly, it's the point of communion, is to really reflect and make sure our focus is where it should be.